Good night, God bless. Look after yourself. Have a great holiday. Bye.
BBC One will be back beside the seaside, beside another array of summertime special stars next Saturday at 8:30. They include Little and Large, Chaz and Dave, and the Grumbleweeds.
Tomorrow's Sunday film at 7:15 on BBC One is A Question of Honour, starring Ben Gazzara, Paul Sorvino and Robert Vaughan.
All right, stay right where you are. Where's the rest of them?
Besides, we got to get DeFalco off Danzy's back anyway. What choice do we have? Get me that New York number again.
Mr. Walker, this is Detective DeFalco. What can I do for you?
Look, DeFalco, Danzy must have told you he's working for us. Now, we've got a lot tied up in him, and I want you to cut him loose before everything comes unglued, all right?
I'm sorry, I can't do that.
Joe, what they say is true. You don't have a case against me.
It could be so, Carlo. You see, if you were some punk dealer, I could cut you loose. But let's be realistic about this. I want this case, so I'm gonna make it so it'll stick.
A Question of Honour, tomorrow at 7:15 on BBC One.
Well, two films tonight open BBC2's Alfred Hitchcock season. The first of them is in about 5 minutes, and it's that recipe for the perfect murder cooked up by strangers on a train. On BBC One, in 15 minutes, it's the night of the big wall at the Wembley Arena, the Puissance in the Royal International Horse Show. Before that, the news and sport.
Europe's trade ministers have been meeting in emergency session all day over America's new steel import duties. More than 300 people are reported dead or missing in Nagasaki, Japan, in landslides and floods caused by heavy rain. At Lord's, a devastating win for Somerset in the Benson and Hedges final. And at Ascot, the odds-on favourite Assert loses the King George Diamond Stakes by a neck. In Brussels, the trade ministers of the EEC have been in emergency session all day to discuss the new American import duties on steel. With the deadline for agreement only hours away, the British Trade Minister, Mr. Peter Rees, said that Britain might go it alone in seeking an agreement with the United States. Reporting on the latest developments in the growing steel row, Tim Sebastian.
The European bureaucracy swung hurriedly into action this morning, an emergency session as Europe and the US headed for deadlock. Ministers of the 10 arrived angry and frustrated. They saw little hope of any last-minute settlement with the Americans. As things stood today, the two sides had little in common. While the British have now revealed they're holding their own separate talks on the issue in Washington, and they're trying for an agreement outside the rest of the community. That, of course, hasn't endeared them to the other members who don't want to see anyone else going it alone. However, the prospects for any sort of agreement are slim. The Europeans had offered a 10% cut in their steel exports. That's now been rejected. The Americans demanded a 35% cut. They complain Europe has damaged their own steel production. It's the British steel industry that feels most under threat. Already, the worldwide drop in demand has put thousands of jobs at risk. The pressure from the shop floor has now built up into massive political pressure. It could damage Europe's trade relations with America right across the board. So what can the Europeans do about the US measures? Complain? Well, they've done that already. They could even bring in their own sanctions against American products. But Washington does seem finally to have made up its mind. And when the most powerful economy in the world does that, there's little anyone else can do to change it. Well, we've just heard that the meeting has broken up after 9 hours, but there's no word yet of the outcome.
The Japanese car company Nissan, the makers of Datsun cars, say they've put off a decision on whether to build a major plant in Britain. The announcement had been widely predicted. The company say 8 possible sites are still being considered, and they deny suggestions that there are disagreements with the British government over the level of financial aid. But as our industrial correspondent Ian Ross reports, there's no indication of when a decision on the project will be made.
Right at the start of the